Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. It's 4:10, 55 at the airport, 58 at our studios, 57 in Palmer, and 53 in Kenai. Some scattered showers tonight with low of 47, and rain showers tomorrow with winds gusting to 30 miles per hour with a high of 54. All right, 522-0650 is our phone number. Joining us right at the beginning of the program is Republican candidate for U.S. Senate, Dan Sullivan. Dan, how are you doing this afternoon?
Hey, Mike. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, wonderful, wonderful. Well, one of the things that's going on, certainly in the halls of Congress and certainly all over the nation, is this whole business with the Veterans Administration.
Yes.
And you know a little bit about the military. When you signed in, what were you promised? I mean, here's the deal to me. If we promise a man or a woman who joins the military certain benefits, isn't it our responsibility and our duty to come through and do what we say we're going to do?
Absolutely. It's a sacred trust of the federal government to our men and women who have fought and sacrificed for the country. And I'll tell you this, and you know from my campaign, there's a lot of things I think the federal government should not be doing, especially here in Alaska. They're over-regulating the heck out of the entire economy and our lives. But one thing they should be doing is taking care of our vets, and that's why this is an issue we've been highlighting since day one when I launched my campaign in October.
Now, Senator Rubio has a bill in the Senate. I guess there was a bill. It's a companion bill to a bill that passed the House, and he seeks to get some help for the Secretary of Veterans Administration to try to give them the power to basically clean house. This was opposed by the Democrats, and now they seem to be for it. What's your take on it?
Well, look, I think cleaning up the bureaucracy is clearly an important thing that the Congress needs to be able to do. But there's a broader, bigger issue that's going on right now. Last week, the American Legion, and I joined them, called for General Shinseki's resignation. He's the Secretary of the VA. A great American, there's no doubt about that. Served his country honorably, served in Vietnam. But what this administration has not done is held anyone accountable or put anyone in terms of leadership to take care of a problem that has only grown dramatically in the last 5.5 years under the Obama administration. And everybody who's focused on this knows it's been a problem. It's just that certain people, whether it's Shinseki or President Obama or Mark Begich, who sits on the Veterans Affairs Committee, haven't given it the time, attention, and accountability it deserves.
So how does it get fixed, Dan?
Well, I think, first of all, Mike, what you need to do is you need to make people accountable. You have a Secretary of Veterans Affairs who, under his watch, the backlog and wait times for veterans returning from war has increased in terms of the backlog from, in 2009, about 150,000 to over 600,000 by last spring, what the USA Today called a national disgrace. And to show that we're very serious about this, what you need to start with is accountability at the top. And whether it's been Benghazi or the IRS, this administration doesn't want accountability at the top. You need to start there.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this now moves through the halls of Congress. Hopefully, quickly. You just never know what's going to happen in that body sometimes. But what would you do if you were in there now?
Well, I certainly would join. Right now, there's 11 Senate Democrats who have joined the American Legion and a number of Republicans to call for General Shinseki's resignation. The other thing that's remarkable, despite the number of IG reports and other reports that have come out and shown the huge problems, and by the way, the president, when he was campaigning to be president, highlighted this as a huge problem and committed to fixing it. There's only been 7 oversight hearings with the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee during this Congress on this hugely important issue. So what needs to happen is accountability and a Congress that's actually engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And when Mark Begich was quoted recently as saying, if there's a problem, the Obama administration needs to fix it. Well, Senator, it's not if. There clearly is a problem. And it's not just the Obama administration. It needs to be the Congress. And nobody seems to be standing up and doing anything until recently.
Yeah. Dan, it doesn't seem to be just this. People that I talk to that are in VA hospitals and not here. I think here, people that are treated by the VA seem to be happy with their experience. But in other places, it seems that the care could be a whole lot better, and it just, I guess you touched on this earlier, takes forever. And as you know, if you are injured in a wartime injury, that delay could cost you your life.
Yeah. And look, Mike, the other thing here, it's not just this issue. Like I said, on Veterans Day, we put out a paper called the Promises Delivered Project that focused on these issues and how important it was to keep the sacred trust of responsibility with our vets. I was training my Marines in December. I'm still in the reserves. And one of my Marines came up and asked me if I had seen this budget deal that the Congress had passed in December. I hadn't. He said it was going to eviscerate his retirement. He was 19 years in. He was getting ready to retire.
Oh, wow.
When I got back home to Alaska, I looked into it. He was exactly right. Tens of thousands of dollars taken from our veterans' retirement benefits, guys who were disabled, guys who were getting ready to retire, and it didn't. This budget deal didn't focus on any other federal workers. It focused solely on our military veterans, and Mark Begich voted for that. It is even broader than the VA issue, and I think that we're really undermining that sacred trust or responsibility.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we ask the military to do some pretty impossible things. These folks volunteer, they go in, and they're told, this is what we will give you. And that, you're absolutely right, is a sacred trust. If I promise you something, I need to deliver on it.
And it's also something that, as I mentioned, the federal government, man, there's a million things we need to have them stop doing. But they need to start doing this one better. Well, yes, this is where they are responsible, clearly. This is one of the things the Constitution says they're supposed to do. Yes, yes. So we're going to continue to focus on that. I've asked, I've asked Senator Begich to join me, join his 11 Senate Democrat members of the U.S. Senate to call on the resignation of General Shinseki and shake that administration up. And it looks like right now he's just taking orders from the White House, and right now they don't want to get rid of him, so Mark Begich is going to toe the Obama administration's line on this, even though Democrats as liberal as Al Franken are calling on the resignation of Shinseki. I think Mark Begich needs to join him. All right. Dan, thanks so much. Any campaign events coming up? Well, Mike, we just actually last night, speaking of veterans, we launched our Veterans Coalition in Fairbanks. We got leaders in the Valley, in Anchorage. We had a great coalition of veterans from all different eras, different wars at our event last night in Fairbanks. And for the veterans who want to join, Sullivan2014.com. I am going to continue to beat the drum and focus on these issues, particularly because we have a senator right now who's not doing a job on it. All right, Dan, thanks a lot.